Negroes make up 25.8%, and Hispanics make up 23%. And amongst the Hispanics, guess who's the lowest amongst them? Dominicans. They're like 28 point something. Because most Dominicans here are dark, so they pass for Negroes, so they get less opportunities. But the light-skinned ones, like Cubans, they're like the least poor amongst the Hispanics, because most of them can pass for like white people. You see that? But we're not Israelites, you know. I just had to bring that out, just to hit that point. Yeah. So the Moabites, them Asians, China, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, this is what's gonna happen to them, Kirita.
Whereby they have reproached my people and magnify themselves against their borders.
Yeah, because they talk shit about us when they come over here. You see them when you go to they so-called Manhattan stores or they urban stores, because a lot of them own urban stores, them and them Ishmaelites. And they always assume you're gonna steal and shit. Or they own them restaurants and they feeding you abominations. Alright? You gonna fucking pay for that, Moab. You gonna get destroyed. You and Ammon gonna get destroyed in these race wars in here in America too.
And they're the ones that are producing and making the guillotines for 2/3 of you niggas, man.
And probably for some of the elect that get martyred.
Yeah. They're the ones that's making it.
This is why the Most High, keep reading, this is why the Most High gonna turn your fucking land into Sodom and Gomorrah style. He gonna burn your ass. He gonna use the United States to shoot missiles on y'all and to destroy you. Fucking goots, man.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 9.
Yeah.
Therefore, as I have lived, saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom.
Yeah.
And the children of Ammon as Gomorrah.
Yeah. So the land of Moab, or the Moabites, the Chinese, the Koreans, alright? And the children of Ammon, you so-called Japanese, y'all gonna get destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Get that in Genesis 19 and 24 real quick. Let's see what the Lord did to Sodom and Gomorrah. Alright? Cause y'all, like the brother said, y'all helping for the affliction, man. It says that in Zechariah 1 and 14. That y'all at ease. Y'all don't think, them Chinese people, they think, okay, well, America gonna get destroyed, but we gonna have next, right? Nah, y'all asses gonna be burnt to a crisp in those lands. And then the remnant of y'all going into slavery. Fucking incest babies, man.
Genesis chapter 19 verse 24. Then the Lord raised upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
Talking about a lot, and that's representing you niggas that fell out, man. You 2/3. Don't come in this if you're not ready to see this all the way through. That's why we always stress that when oh brother, I want to join the camp. Where you guys at? I'm down. Really, you down? Do you know the fate of what can happen to you pushing this truth? You can get put to death, man. Are you ready to die for the Lord? A lot of people say, oh yeah, I'll die for the Lord. I love the Lord. But when you test it with that, we'll see. And then you don't hear about that guy anymore. Or he does a ride-by and says Shalom Network. To hell with you niggas, man. Keep going.
And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah and towards all the land of the plain. And beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace.
That's it. Now go back to where we was in Zephaniah and read that again about Moab and Ammon getting turned into Sodom and Gomorrah.
Alright, Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 9.
Yeah.
Therefore, as I live, said the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah.
So y'all, Japan, North and South Korea, and China's gonna get hit with thermonuclear missiles. and your asses is gonna get burnt the hell up. Okay, because over there, outside of Russia, leading the world in abortions, America's third. Guess who's second? The Chinese. Okay? And you Chinese people, y'all abominable, man. You motherfuckers, you have a one-child policy, right? So if they find out the baby's a female or whatever, they abort it. Because they want sons, they want to carry on their lineage. At least they got some sense there. But what they do, they'll abort the baby, which that's murder. Then they'll turn around and eat the baby, thinking that's going to increase your pleasure or your arousement for sex, man. So y'all abominations, man. The Lord gonna have to destroy y'all, and y'all very proud, and that's why the Lord sent that earthquake on y'all, man. Go to Luke 21 and 11. The Lord sent that earthquake on y'all.
Luke chapter 21, verse 11.
Step in.
And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places.
That's right. You had them great earthquakes, and this week you had the earthquake in China. All right, that destroyed hundreds of people and left them desolate. You had an earthquake in Iran. Okay, that was horrible, man. And it's gonna be more worse earthquakes, man, because the Lord said it. All right, keep reading.
And great earthquakes upon diverse places, and famines.
And famines. And famine is coming to America. All right? Famine is coming to America. All right? It just came out in the news that flooding they had up there in the Midwest. Get that in Isaiah 28 and 2. That flooding they had up in the Midwest, all right, this past week, it destroyed all the crops that they did grow in it. And the soil was too saturated with water that they can't even plant. And them farmers saying that it's gonna bring forth a terrible crop. And they said it takes 4 to 2 years to recover from a drought. And you had that major drought in the summertime last year. And you people are starting to feel it now. Read that.
Isaiah 28 and 2. Behold, the Lord hath a strong and mighty one, which as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of a mighty flowing water overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And
that's what he did. He destroyed the crops in the Midwest with that flood. And that's going to produce famine. And you know what else is going to produce famine? Martial law. Martial law. Get that in Mark 13 and 8. You people think it's a game out here, man. It's about to get real serious here in the United States. Alright? Famine is going to come here, and pestilence is going to come here. Alright? You had a measles outbreak in the UK. And even in England, they want to mandatory vaccinate the people. And scare that measles spreading over to them in England. Then you have the bird flu, the H7N9 influenza flu or virus breaking out over there in China. It done killed people, and then it jumped to Thailand. And they telling the people, the governments around the world, to prepare for the worst case scenario, because they have no vaccinations for it. They don't even know how fast it's spreading, and they don't know how dormant it stays, because the guy that showed up in Thailand, it didn't show up that he had it until 2 weeks later, and the kill rate is already at 20%. So if that bird flu come over here to the United States, it's going to destroy these people. But most people don't know about that. You know why? Because they said they do not want the public to know, because they don't want the people panicking. And that'll be another way for them to bring in that chip. Step in. All right.
Mark chapter 13, verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation.
It's going to be race wars.
And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. And there shall be famines and troubles.
And troubles. You look up that word trouble, it's talking about sedition and insurrection. What you saw up there in Boston, with that when they locked down that whole city, That was martial law. That was insurrection.